EA Sports brings you a special edition of the National Football League for this Christmas Day matchup. It's the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Straight ahead, we've got a rematch from last year's NFC Divisional Round tilt, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the defending NFC champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Well, what a season it was for these Eagles and these Philly fans last year. An 8-0 start, 14-3 final record, 2 blowout wins in the NFC playoffs before coming up a bit short in Super Bowl 57.
And a good thing for Philadelphia is they try and get back to the Super Bowl. Many of the key pieces they had last year are back. Remember, this is the number 3 offense in the league, number 2 defense, and they threw in a heck of an NFL draft. They expect to contend one more time.
Meanwhile, for the Giants, what a turnaround last season in year 1 of the Brian Daboll era, Charles. Yes, they finished behind the Eagles and Cowboys, but they did win 9 games and 1 more for good measure at Minnesota in the wild card round.
Talk about establishing a new base, a new culture, and getting into the playoffs while doing it. So tough to beat this Giants team in the 4th quarter. They expect that to continue.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. Paris Campbell now on the return. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
Now the NFC's leading rusher a season ago. Here's Saquon Barkley. Now, he just danced away from that one defender on his way to a gain of about 7 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Back to throw now on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a man picked up on draft night this year, DeAndre Swift. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. And that is incomplete here.
I don't see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Hurts. And he is caught. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So the completion there, and CD, as we know, trying to defend against an NFL quarterback, that's one thing. Trying to defend against a mobile NFL quarterback, that's quite another. What's the plan here defensively?
Well, the pass rush has to still try and get to him, and especially the guys on the edge, but they're going to go maybe a count slower, right? They want to make sure they don't get too far upfield where he steps up and takes off through a lane. The same is true for those interior guys as well. So you've got to change it up with him. Try and keep him hemmed into the pocket, and occasionally you throw a spy on him. A fast linebacker or one of your extra defensive backs who can dance with him a little bit if he takes off and runs.
Here's Hurts to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 30. 23 yards to pick up there. The first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run right here with Swift. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL than just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
On second down, Swift. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
We're scoreless after 1. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. Here now, 3rd and a yard, as they've got it as we resume action. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Now Jake Elliott, earlier in his career, he beat these Giants with a 61-yarder. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Elliott is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available. An incompletion as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
But so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And his bid for the 1st down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. Got a man, it's Brown. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 35 before going out. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a 2nd and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 35. 42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
3rd and 2. Hurts sets up to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown, Eagles! Dallas Goedert, 35 yards. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. New York set to take the field. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They read zone coverage there. Thought there was some space to send their guy right into the middle on a slant, hoping he would get lost. Instead, they read it quite well and closed quickly.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw here. This is going to be incomplete.
Lots of incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll drop to throw. Boy, he almost did that himself, but it looks like he's about a foot or 2 short. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off, because in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. Quick slant here to Smith. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Here's 3rd and 6. Throwing is Hurts. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. But first down, Hurts. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Second down, here's Hurts. This will be caught by Brown. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Hurts. They're going to find the open man. That's complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here. Charles has already thrown off his headset. He's out here. He says, it's Christmas Day. I'm going home. We're not done yet, though. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime
entertaining
report.
first half.
Coach.
Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward. The Eagles got a solid first half from last year's MVP runner-up, Jalen Hurts. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Bobby Okereke making that tackle.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Throwing on second down. Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver Brown. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 48-yard line.
Keep those sticks moving. Move those chains. Keep them moving.
All the option left, it's Hurts. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. And let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's second down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Looking to throw again on second down. Hurts. Complete. Smith has it. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now we've got a third down and 3.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
They'll try and run here with Swift. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
How about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they pick picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Campbell returning it. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process. And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
The play action fake, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Jamie Gillendown as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 9. Hurts. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play. But in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Eagles send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Olszewski now to return. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now back to throw. Has this complete to Daniel Bellinger. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a 1st-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the 1st down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant
This is caught. It's Robinson with a Giants touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Giants are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. A very pivotal 2-point try that does not go their way now. It's a big uphill battle for the rest of the 4th quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a 1-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. Now a give, right side, Swift. And down to the 36-yard line here. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. And they'll fake it there on the jet sweep, and instead, here's Swift. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Once again, it's Swift. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They run out of the gun with Swift. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
Get something together.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And that should do it. He's got a 1st down. And the Eagles, they can run it out from here. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Down to one knee, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.